Hello everyone, my name is Sean. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about global warming. Global warming is an often debated hot topic in today's world. Many people think it's real, while others think it's just a hoax and the rest just don't care. But you really should care. I graduated, just a little bit about myself, about my background. I graduated from Stony Brook in 2013 with a master's degree in chemistry. During my studies over there, I actually focused on environmental chemistry. And as a matter of fact, my thesis was written on membrane-based water filtration systems. Although this doesn't really qualify me as an environmental specialist by any means. But today I still like to show you the truth behind the global warming, its causes, effects, and what the future holds for us through an Excel visualization presentation utilizing data that I've gathered on the internet. So I'd like to show you my data sources. So this is one of the three websites that I use. So this is the Global Climate Change under NASA. So these are the data tables. I downloaded them. It's in a text file separated by spaces. I was able to import them into Excel and then link them in the data models and then connect them, make relations using this attribute years. So here's another website I use, the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. And then one final one is the worldbank.gov, and this is a data sheet. So hopefully everyone knows what's the major cause for global warming. It's greenhouse gas. So greenhouse gas is carbon dioxide. This is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide causes the greenhouse effect. The excessive release of carbon dioxide into our atmosphere actually causes this. The immediate resulting effect is an increase in our global temperature, because the heat generated by the sun is now being trapped on Earth. Just imagine yourself going directly under the sun while being wrapped in a plastic wrap in the summer. It's going to be hot. So this effect is further exacerbated by the fact that our ice sheets located in Greenland and Antarctica are melting. The melting ice sheets are causing our sea levels to rise. This is potentially very dangerous to mankind because a majority of the human population are located near coastal areas where we live closely to sea level. For example, New York is only 33 inches above sea level, about 0.8 meters. If the sea levels were to rise by 1 meter, the whole Manhattan will be underwater. So the scientists have been urging us to keep the temperature change to about 2 degrees. So why is 2 degrees so important? Why is it the magic number? Because historically, 6,000 years ago, when the temperature was 2 degrees higher, the sea levels were 6 meters higher. So like I said, 1 meter will put New York underwater. Just imagine what 6 meters will do. So I want to draw attention to these two charts now. So these two charts just shows what I just said. So this blue line represents the rising in temperature. You can see from 1959 to 2012, temperature has gone up about 0.6 degrees. But if you look at the temperature right now in 2013, it's actually risen 1 degree. It's getting really close to the 2 degree, limit. Now, the rising temperature has a very strong correlation between with carbon dioxide emissions. You can see the emission levels are rising too. And here is a graph. It's about the surface temperature versus the rising sea levels. As we all know, the rising temperatures are causing the ice sheets to melt. And the melting ice sheets adds more volume of water to the ocean, and then ocean levels are rising. This is the Greenland and Antarctica ice sheets variation graph. As you can see, the mass of those ice sheets are reducing drastically over for the past 15 years, I would say. Now I'd like to see who's responsible for this. Which countries are the most responsible for the carbon dioxide emissions? As we can already tell, it's gotta be China and United States, right? China is the manufacturer of the whole world. So as you can see, these two countries alone contribute to more than 40% of the total emission. So this is another nice graph that shows that, despite there's three types, major types of fuel type, coal, oil, and gas. It's really nice that the coal levels, the percent coal emission has gone down because burning coal is really bad. But the total consumption of fuel has gone up. This red line represents the trend. Now, this is one of the data table I pulled directly from the website. What I did is I made this into a table. I froze the panel over here so it doesn't move when I scroll. And then I added the trend lines over here using spark lines. So this is hard to read. I mean, it's not hard to read, but it's just not easy, pleasant to look at. So I put it in a very nice, understandable way in this power view chart. I want to draw your attention to United States and China. China is not even visible over here. So this is the top emitters time lapse from 1950s to 2010. So as you can see, US was the top emitter of the world up until early 2000. So China has been rising, and then it just suddenly passed the United States. Look at how much carbon dioxide China is releasing. It's like if you add the United States and China, it's more than the rest of the world. Now, I wasn't really able to make this nice chart graph using this table here because the countries are separated into different columns and you can't really filter them if they're separated in different columns. So I had to restructure my data sheet into this kind. So I put the countries in one single column, and then I put the filters. Okay, so I can easily filter them. So you can see Canada. If I click on Canada, the data changes. Germany, the data changes, and so is the bar charts, the column charts. The black line represents the highest point of their carbon dioxide emissions. So the China still releasing more and more carbon dioxides over the years. Every year, Germany is actually reducing their carbon dioxide emissions. So there's one more chart I want to show you guys before I end my presentation today. It's a really nice 3D map I made. So this 3D map represents which country will be affected mostly, which developing countries are going to be mostly affected by the rising sea level. If the sea level were to rise by 1 meter, how much areas will be affected? So this is there are two layers to this map. There's the heat map represented by these nice red colors, and there's the bar chart on top of that, just for you to easy to see. I also picked this model because it's gray and it's easy to visualize. So I'm going to play it. As you can see, China is definitely being affected the most. Okay. I believe this concludes my presentation. Hopefully I made this interesting, and I hope hopefully you guys are now more aware of this global warming phenomena. So one thing I want to show you guys just before I end this presentation is that I actually hid all my tables. I use a lot of tables to make these nice charts. If I click on them, so all these are the data tables I use. So thank you very much everyone for listening.